Released on console in between Christmas and New Year of 2023 and coming to PCs in 2024 is the 1 to 4 player Party Friends. This is a minigame collection all around couch, local multiplayer, no online here, but it's all about taking you back to the, I'm going to call the golden ages of PS2 and Wii party games, because for £6.49 I expected very little, and I actually got something better than what I expected it to be. Is this going to be an all-conquering party game? No. But for the price point, it absolutely does what it says on the tin and goes beyond its means in some ways. It's 1 to 4 players, bots fill out everything that's not taken up by a human, and you're dropped into one of 3 different environments, or you can pick and choose the minigames and build your own playthrough if you want to. The 3 different areas are a winter resort, a beach resort, and a forest kind of camping farm area. And this is where all of the minigames take shape. So, you've got some racing games where you'll be racing around like a giant ice donut, trying to avoid different ice cubes as they drop into the map, and trying to not skid off the track, frankly. Or you could go in co-op racing, where you take a canoe and try and canoe yourselves around or kayak yourselves through the different ice fields in the winter wonderlands that are there. Again, you've then got climbing events, which is around scaling up an icy mountain and trying to work out which is your next move and to get as high as possible. And considering there's multiple routes, and if you make a wrong move and you kind of shimmy to the left when you should have shimmied to the right, you'll just fall off and it'll be game over. There's also some interesting brawlery type ones where you've got to try and push other players out of an arena or collect things and drop them off in different areas. In the forest land, there's things like herding sheep into pens, for example, or just avoiding an animal that's going to stampede and smash you out of the arena. So again, lots of fun to be had there too. Collecting eggs and depositing them off is good fun as well. Then there are some more abstracty ones that are things like where you're at the beach and there's a seagull coming down to steal your sandwich, and some of the viewpoints make that quite difficult to get right, but those kind of more difficult ones are few and far between, and they are almost always down to either weird camera angles like that sandwich one, or there's a weird mini game where you've got to select certain meals and deliver them to different tables. And the controls make it very difficult to understand what it is that you're supposed to be doing. There's only a couple of those kind of real misses in the party games, but there are also some interesting gems here too. And the one that I wanted to kind of showcase was the stargazing game. With this one, you get to pick various different star arrangements and try and then rotate round the outline of what it is that you're trying to find and place them in the stars. But there'll be several different ones, and everyone's picking different ones and trying to place them in first to get more points, for example. And that was pretty good fun to play. I overall also really liked the theming for this game. So there's a rhythm action game around chopping wood. There's a cool little discovery one where you've all got to race to find golden bugs with a magnifying glass around a pond, for example, which is quite wholesome. There's stuff around ploughing crops, playing with chickens. There's a volleyball thrown in here as well from a sports perspective, although the sportsy ones are some of the weaker games in this series. And yeah, one of the best things about Party Friends is that whilst there's 20 plus mini-games, very few of them repeat close to each other, let alone replicate each other. And I think that's a real strength for the game. It's really simple to pick up and play. It's not very complicated at all, which means that the younger crowd that this is clearly aimed towards will be able to get to grips with it quite quickly. And the thing that really distinguishes it as being slightly better than the Wii shovelware that we've come to know and love, some of us, over the years, is that this game doesn't control fuzzily. It's actually quite precise in the way how it plays, and whilst there are a few mini games that have some quite clunky camera angles and so you kind of don't really understand what's going on, those really are few and far between. The vast majority of this game is really easy to pick up and play, responsive, handles well, doesn't run into bugs or issues, and is a nice relaxing party game for you and your family to play with. So yeah, Party Friends, £6.49. You really can't ask for too much more at that price point. It does exactly what it says on a tin. Higher Plane Games is part of the Higher Plane Network, a completely independent media outlet supported by people like you. The goal is to create the best possible content that cultivates a richer indie scene for games as well as music and entertainment. To find out more and to get involved, visit patreon.com/HigherPlaneNetwork. Your support makes all the difference, and in return you'll gain access to bonus content and downloads. Thank you for watching.